have blind spots. We all have faults in some ways. If you haven't heard it before, I'm going to say it again. They're not perfect. None of us are. Some of us have blind spots. The question that really matters is, do you have anybody in your life that loves you enough to point them out? Would you even let some? I was working with someone recently, and they are in a real bad place. But they don't want to deal with it. They want to sort of avoid it. They don't want to talk about it again. And the point is, it's not going away. But here it is. The question that really matters is, do you have anybody in your life that loves you enough to point these things out? Who cares enough to say, you need to work on this? Do you have anyone in your life that you can accept that from? Think about it. Because you're going to need to be accountable. We all need to be accountable. We all need people around us to hold us accountable, to make you grow, folks, because we need to grow. You cannot grow unless somebody points out things that you can't see in your own life. And if you're not willing to listen about that, then you're setting yourself up again. So, you can't grow without it. Let me give you 3 results for being honest in relationship. Are you ready for these 3 things? You might want to need a pen and a paper, and you won't need to jot these things down. Number 1, compliment in public, correct in private.
That's good.
You got it? That's number 1. Now tell me what that means. Compliment in public, correct in private. Talk to the person next to you and find out if you come up with the same conclusion. What does that mean? Yes. So they don't embarrass you. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you don't realize what you're doing, and it's somebody who's just decided to say, I'm seeing this, and you're like, oh wow, I didn't do that. I didn't know that. Okay, you got 30 seconds, folks. This is the easy one. Time is up. Let's see which direction should we start. All right, we go to the middle.
But you don't want to embarrass somebody, but at the same time you want to be sincere with that person. You want to be real with that person.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Okay. Respect. Yes. Over here.
That conflict in a relationship should be kept behind privately.
But what happens when you don't do it right away? Right. Right? Don't you get that? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, what you said in the train, don't you remember? No! So what do you do? Yeah, you see? Or you forget about it, oh no big deal, so you sweep it under the rug. But these are practical things that happen to us. So how in a moment you don't want to forget, you want to address it, it's not forgotten, what do you do? Because think about it. If you're doing this with your children, you compliment them in public, correct them in private. If you're doing this with a husband and wife, the same thing, you compliment in public, but you don't want to forget. Children forget things right away. Think about the solutions here, because we want to be practical. We don't want to hear, okay, this is what the word says, and so often that's what happens with us. We hear the word, we read it, and we really, don't comprehend exactly what it all means, and so, it just goes on and then it passes on. But we need to be effective. Yes?
I was going to say that when you talk about public and private,
You don't have to make a big statement about it.
Yes.
But you can go to the person and say, listen, don't offend me. We'll talk about it later.
Right.
But you don't have to, scream it out there.
Right.
You know.
You know, the person, be discreet, but also being effective in a way of how you approach it. You know, there's a way of approaching certain things. See, you got to always think before you speak. Always think about what, because we're going to be talking about that. This is part of one of them. So you got to really make a process here so you can evaluate yourself, what's going on within yourself. You're going to have to sort of be discreet about addressing it. You know, letting them know, you know, in a loving way. Just like I heard in one of the funeral, the guy said there was kids acting up at Home Depot, and you know, I get your act together, slow down, you know. You know, sometimes, you know, love conquers. I love you. Oh, you know, and then address the situation in a way, you know, that they could comprehend. You know, sometimes you have to sort of put it in a way, you know, what commercial would a kid get that they love? Do something that in a commercial they can actually understand. You gotta have to sort of do that. With spouses, sometimes, you know, when I told you one of the biggest problems I have with couples is that they see one acts like the parent, the other one acts like the what? Child. Biggest problem in relationships. You see? So when one is acting like the child, the other one becomes the parent. When they should be what? Adults. But isn't a parent an adult? It's a big difference between the parent and an adult. When your adult is dealing with an actual child, then it's okay. But when a parent is dealing with a husband and a wife, and one is acting like a parent, nothing healthy comes out of that. So how you address it, you have to have a plan when you address. See, the right time, right place, and the right approach. So that way you filter a process before you address it. So what do we learn from that part? If you're going to do, always compliment in what? Public, and correct in private. See, compliment can be great. Everybody can hear that. Honey, you are wonderful. Yeah, you love it. Yes, it's awesome. I don't care who hears it. Because it's lifting you up. But if you're going to say, how dare you do that? Whoa. It's not going to be effective at all. So we got that one. Let's go to number 2. You ready? Yeah, number 2. Correct. Well, I was going to go further, a little further. Never offer a correction until you have proven that you are open to it. You should never correct anybody else until you first have proven that they can receive it from you. You gotta prove that they can actually receive it from you. Because if you're not sure they're gonna receive it, what's gonna happen? You have another problem in your hands. Alright? Remember the case study I told you? The woman says to the husband, you don't understand. Loses it. What can she say? You don't comprehend. You don't comprehend. I'm going to test you next time we come together. You're going to need to come up with some new things. And I need to hear you come up with. I can't tell you. Because I keep telling you it's going to hit over there and you don't get it. Correct when they're up and not down, folks. Nobody can handle correction when they are tired, fatigued, depressed, or out of energy. You gotta know what you're going to be doing when you handle these situations. When you're tired and frustrated, you know, you're probably not even open to hear anyway. It's like trying to move a mountain. The problem is today that many couples are scared to death of anger and confrontation. They run from it. The result is that the issues get pushed aside. They're swept under the carpet. They don't deal with it. And when you suppress anger, it comes out in sarcasm, wisecracks, hints, and hurtful jokes. You know anyone like that? I'm not going to point any fingers. You're being passive aggressive, that's what they call it. But never really dealing with the issues. The Bible wants us to be practical. Be real. Don't live in this la-la land, playing church. There's no genuine intimacy without going through the conflict. It's not genuine. And I know a lot of many guys don't like conflict. Why? It's not rhetorical. Why?
Well, it's one area, if it's inclusion, control, and effectiveness. In control, they don't want to be controlled. So that's an area where, and that's an issue with me and my husband, because he doesn't like to be controlled. So I have to choose my word when I talk to him, because if I can say the least little thing, he thinks that I'm trying to control him.
That's right. That's what happens when folks are insecure. And you'll find a lot of insecure folks everywhere. So you gotta use some wisdom. God gave us wisdom to be used. Amen?
Amen.
You're being passive aggressive but never really dealing with the issues is not good. Okay, so let's go to this one. Superficial intimacy avoids what needs to be dealt with. Got that? Superficial intimacy avoids what needs to be dealt with. And if you don't deal with the real issues, what's going to happen, folks? I mean, you know this. All right, let's go to the last one. I'm going to get, I got two more. I want to make sure I get it. How do you get from superficial intimacy to genuine, deep intimacy with one another? With another human being. It's a question. I want you to talk to the person next to you. How do you get from superficial intimacy to genuine, deep intimacy with one another, with another human being? Talk to the person next to you. You got 1 minute. I'll repeat the question as you're talking. 30 seconds, folks. And I think this is very important because this is going to help us really know how to deal with conflicts. So the question was, how do you get from superficial intimacy to genuine, deep intimacy with another person? Time is up. Okay, let's go to the middle. Anthony raised his hand. Let's hear folks what we got. Yes?
I believe you need to be on the same page with your partner. You need to, I think you need to be open with the concerns of your partner and what needs to be done and come to a
Okay.
agreement.
Being on the same page, being open, very good. I like that. Decide. Diddle, one of those. All right, decide. What do you guys come up with? Nothing? Oh, let's get these guys here. What you got?
We said basically that same thing they said, but also we went further. We said sometimes it has to be maybe one person in the party, or both parties, who will be the first one to say, you know what, I'm I'm going to be honest with you. This is the real deal. It's my fault. Or the person who takes the first step, the initiative, to just admit, you know, I did it.
All right. Well, yes.
One other thing as well, to just take it one step further, is that we need to understand that whatever it is that we are hung up about hangs us back.
Right? Absolutely. That's a good point. Yes, Susan?
Well, the Bible says we are to be quick to listen,
Yes.
slow to speak,
Yes.
and slow to anger.
That's right. All right. That's the word of God, folks. Remember what we said just a few minutes ago? You got to make sure the person's going to be open to what you're going to say. So there's a lot of work you have to do before you do that. You get to that point. You got to make sure you have to work through every area of conflict. And conflict is painful, folks. It's not fun. And some people who are insecure may not receive it well, so you got to be very careful. Sometimes you feel like you're going down into the pit, and that you're never going to come out of it. But the Word of God tells us there are things that we need to do. Remember, we're going to always be dealing with difficult people, disappointing people, what? Demanding people, and even destructive people. And we still have to take the same approach. Love never fails. Conflict is not fun. There will be pain and noise. And sometimes it will feel unbearable. Right? But if you want the diamond, you have to endure the heat and the friction. If you've been waiting long enough, the word says those who wait on the Lord shall what? Renew your strength. You won't fix the problem by fixing the blame. You have to, when you're in conflict resolution, every bone in your body says, this is too hard, too difficult. I mean, again, I hold on to past testimony. She didn't want to come out of work, a long day, to have to go all the way across town to Queens when she lives in the Bronx. This is a journey. Sometimes you're going to have to sort of go through it. Sometimes it's too hard. So we have to learn to deal with some of these things. Remember what we said earlier, never offer correction until you are proven that you are open to it. Stay with it, stay with it. We need to work hard. So here's a question to you. Who do you need to be honest with? Who do you think you need to be honest with? Yourself. Look at yourself. You need to be honest with you. You need to be right with you. Because if you're not right with you, you're not going to be right with everyone else. Let's prepare. There are some scriptures you're going to need to read. Read Hosea. I want you to read 1 Chronicles chapter 13. Look at what God did to him. Yeah, guy was doing the right thing. He didn't want the ark to fall. Put his hand on it and he died. Think about the reason why this happens. You have to sometimes make a point. Sometimes it's going to get hard. Life is hard. Turn to someone and say, life is difficult. Accept it. But remember, you're the light of the world. I have the worship thing come on. Let's bow our heads and pray. Heavenly Father, we're just so thankful that you are faithful to your very word. You are teaching us, Lord, to get prepared, Lord, for what you have us do, for your kingdom and for your Lord. We ask you today, Lord, to prepare our heart